Hi gang, Doug here. Welcome to yet another board game channel and yet another turn of Eldritch Horror as we continue to combat Shudde. That was a bit of a disaster last turn, wasn't it? We lost two, count them, two of our four investigators. It was a horrible cascading effect where the Mythos card caused one person to die, which moved the Doom track, and that caused the Devastation card to kick in, which killed someone else. Fun times. But we will just soldier on. We are essentially halfway to winning the game. Theoretically, because we are halfway through our second of three mysteries to solve. So, and possibly Pete will solve the second one for us. So, fingers crossed. We'll see if he can pull it off. First of all, we need to meet our replacement investigators. We've got two of them. As always, chosen at random. Got a little lucky on one of them. Well, yes, replacing Trish, our spy, we have Sister Mary the Nun. And the reason we're fortunate we got her is her starting point is actually South Africa, right where Trish is. So she can try to visit Trish and get all her stuff, which would be nice. So she'll have lots to work with. Yes, Mary the Nun. Check her abilities. As her action, she can test her will. And for each success, you or another investigator on any space may discard one madness condition. So that'll be nice. I think she's going to do that this turn because I don't need her to move. Her passive, you and other investigators on your space add 1 to the result of each die rolled as part of a Bane or Boon condition effect. Which, yeah, sounds like a good thing. Not that we have either at the moment, but if they crop up. And her quote is, "The Lord watches over my path. I am armored in faith." You tell him, Mary. So, you can see she's got 5 health and 7 sanity. There are her stats. She doesn't have any 1s anyway. She's got 3 2s and 4, and her strong point is her will. Let's just go over her backstory. Sister Mary speaks very little of her life before taking her vows. Like so many other young girls, she came from a small town and dreamed of something greater than a small life. The Lord provided. Through his path, she has become a lion of compassion and virtue. She has a natural humility, and people are often surprised how driven she is to serve God's will. The church has sent her to South Africa to investigate a possibly demonic presence. Mary plans to approach the question, as she always does, with a clear mind and an unshakable faith. So, as I said, she will be starting on South Africa, which is nice. She starts with a clue, which I've chosen, grabbed for her, and a ship ticket. And she also starts with the holy water. Let's see here. Item magical. You may discard this card to gain 5 will and strength during a combat encounter. Also, as an action, we can discard this card to choose an investigator on your space, and that investigator gains a blessed condition. So we got to keep that in mind in case we really want somebody blessed. And if she picks up Trish's stuff, she may not need, she'll have the holy sword, so she won't require the holy water for combat. So yeah, we may use that in the next couple of turns. Now, replacing Agnes Baker, we have chosen Patrice Hathaway, the violinist. As her action, you may spend 1 clue and 1 focus to improve 1 skill of your choice. And her passive, when you close the gate during an otherworld encounter, gain 1 clue and one focus, so those kind of feed each other. When I play the violin, the music echoes in other worlds. She's got the same health stats as Sister Mary. There are her overall stats. You can see her not very strong, but another one with a very strong will. Her backstory. Hailed as a musical prodigy from her youth, Patrice has performed for royalty and society's brightest minds all around the world. For years, she thought that her consciousness simply drifted as she played, but she's come to believe that an intelligence exists behind her visions. Somehow, the notes form a bridge between her own mind and another. The more she grasps what her music exposes to her, the more afraid she becomes. After last night's concert in Sydney, she's finally decided to take action. I'm guessing she's feeling the rumblings of Shudde. So yes, she is in fact starting in Sydney. She starts with one clue and a banishment spell. Banishment spell is a ritual. As an action, test lore +2. So that'll be 5. That's not bad. If you pass, discard one monster on the nearest space containing a gate with toughness equal to or less than your test results. Then flip the card. So she could clear out some monsters if we decide we need to get to a monster-infested space. So yeah, that's our newcomers. Now we will be going into the action phase. Pete was our... He ended up being our final lead investigator after people dying off last turn. And I've kept him as such, so we are going to start with Pete, who was in West Africa. Okay, Pete, I don't want him to move. I want him to do this. So, they're literally only, well, yeah, I'm not going to do his skullduggery action. Yeah, the only things remotely useful he can do are, 1, grab a clue, or not a clue, focus, and 2nd, he's going to rest, putting him at 4 health and 4 sanity, making him wildly healthy compared to the way he was, well, all of us were a couple of turns ago. Alright, now we're going to go down to Sydney and visit new investigator Patrice. Now, seeing as she is in Sydney, Patrice is in an ideal place to head off to the Antarctic and maybe work on the Antarctica adventure that we've got going there, which should help us solve, hopefully, the next mystery, because I'm hoping our second one will be solved by the end of this turn, but we'll see. So, for her first action, Patrice is going to head off to the Antarctica space. She gets a free move to the Miskatonic outpost, right here. And for her second action, we're going to do the local action. We're going to, well, she can either gain a ship ticket, she's not going to do that, but she's going to test her influence in an attempt to get herself an Antarctic guide who will help with rolls. So, her influence is 2, so her odds are meh, but I think it's worth giving it a go, and she succeeded. So, she does pick up the Antarctic Guide as an ally. Once per round, if you're on a space on the Antarctica sideboard, you may re-roll 1 die when resolving a test, except when resolving another world encounter, because we're not technically in Antarctica when that happens. Okay, Patrice is in a good position to do some stuff. Now we're going to go over to North America and see Jim Culver. Alright, here is Jim in San Francisco. We're going to move him down to space 7, where hopefully you'll be able to take care of this rumor. And I think to make darn certain that that happens, for his second action, he is going to pick up a focus to give us a little bit more of an edge on getting that finished. So that just leaves us with Sister Mary, who is down in South Africa. Okay, there is Mary, who we are not going to move her. We want her to visit Trish and pick up all her stuff. So first action, she's going to grab a focus token. Oh, it's there. For her second action, going to use her special ability and test her will. And for each success, we can get rid of a madness condition on, well, anyone. We've only got a madness condition on Jim. He's paranoid, but we might as well, as there's not much else we can do with her in this spot. Everything's still way too expensive in the reserve because of the price gouging mythos card. So we're going to test her will of 4. Just need 1 success to get rid of. Oh, we got 2, so we could have gotten rid of 2 madnesses, but as it is, we will just lose Jim's paranoia. That goes under the madness cards. All right, that's it for actions. Now, right, on to encounters, and hopefully Pete can solve this mystery for us. Okay, Pete is going to try to renew this seal to keep Shudde back. We're going to test his lore -1, so he's only going to be rolling 2, but he has a focus, and Duke will let him re-roll 1 die per round. Nope. So, focus. Hey, nope. Duke. Per round, you may reroll 1 die when resolving a test. Come on, Pete. Let me try that again. No. Okay, we're not going to solve the mystery this turn. It's going to have to be next turn. And it needs to be next turn. We gotta get this going. Yeah, can't use his clues because he needs to spend the clues. That's too bad. He did so well last turn. Alright, so be it. We're now going to go back over to Antarctica and back to Patrice Hathaway. Alright, Patrice is going to attempt to pick up that clue, because why the heck not? So, grab an Antarctica research encounter at the Miskatonic Outpost. Professor Lake copied a message written in the language of the Elder Things. You tried to decode it. We're going to test her lore, which is 3. Okay, and yes, she gets to re-roll. And resolving a test. Yeah, just once per round. Okay, didn't need her guide. If you pass, you read a plea for help from their oceanic brethren. Gain this clue. Alright, Patrice has a couple of clues. So I wonder if we should actually send her off to Africa. Now it's going to take ages to get there. Alright, we had some success there. On to Jim Culver. Let's get rid of this nasty rumor. Alright, on space 7, Jim is going to try to track down these strangers who are altering the flow of space and time in the local area and causing potentially omens to advance more. So we're going to find these strangers based on the observations of the stars. He's going to test his observation, which is 3. He did pick up a focus, just to make sure. Oh, you're kidding me. Oh, boy. And we're back to the crappy rolling. Gonna spend his focus. And he failed. He's hanging out there next turn. Yeah, we did so well for a turn or two there, but our luck has completely reversed again. Of course it has. Alright, that's it for Jim. On to Sister Mary. Alright, Mary, hearing about this mysterious spy who is trying to save the world, is tracking down Trish. Right, she died because of physical wounds, or she was taken out because of physical wounds. Trish falls in and out of consciousness when you visit her in the hospital, but she happily turns over her equipment, gain all of her possessions. Let's just remind ourselves what those possessions are. Mary now has the Holy Spear, the 45 automatic, the genealogy research, and the Mists of Relay spell. Alright. Unfortunately, her journal has been seized by the police. You will have to convince the local authorities to turn the book over to you. I'm going to test her influence, which is a lowly 2. She's got a focus, which I think I'll use if necessary, because this almost always retreats doom. Nope, she got it. Okay, somebody got some luck. Thank goodness. If you pass, you can read through all of Trish's notes. Yes, retreat doom by 1. If you fail, the knowledge is lost. Whether you pass or not, discard her investigator token. So long, Trish. It's too bad things went like that. Yeah. Up here off screen, we've moved doom back up to 11. So we are 3 spaces away from the next bit of devastation. Alright. That is it for the action phase. Now, once more, into the dreaded mythos phase. And this must be a reckoning. Okay, I kind of lost count, but I'm pretty sure we have even odds of this being a reckoning card. There it is. So, first things first, we will move the omen track around to blue. We still don't have any blue gates. Still have 2 red and a green. So yeah, next up, the reckoning. So the monsters. Way too many monsters and not a way to deal with them. So the Shan, discard the nearest clue. Boy, that's going to be 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2. Okay, that's only 2 spaces away. The one at 11. So that one goes. The werewolf. Right, move this monster 1 space towards the nearest investigator, then each investigator on this space loses 1 health. I'm going to have it go through Rome, or the ruins of Rome. The hunting horror. Oh, yeah. Yeah, this is the one I was worried about. Move this monster to the nearest space containing an investigator. Then an investigator on that space immediately encounters it. Let's see, 1, 2, 1, 2. And it's no, it's not physically resistant. I think it's the werewolf that's physically resistant. Yes, so it's a tie between Pete and Sister Mary, and I'm actually going to have it go after Sister Mary because she has got good stuff now after visiting Trish. She is loaded for bear. And yeah, I think I'm going to have to use the holy water after all because this is a tough one. So yeah, I wanted to save it for a blessing, but kind of glad I didn't use it because I think the Holy Spirit was nice at +4, but this is +5 strength and will, and it's got a tough will. It's got a will -1. All right, so holy water goes away. I'm going to be rolling will -1, which would be 3. We're trying to prevent 3 mental damage. But we have a +5, so we're actually going to get to roll 8 dice. And we want 3 successes on 8 dice. Starting with 5. Okay. She did it. She actually rolled 3 5s right away. No need to continue rolling. Now, she is going to fight it using unmodified strength. We're trying to prevent 2 damage and cause 3. So, her strength is 2, but she's used the holy water, so she's going to have 7 total. You want 3 successes. Oh god. Okay. Don't have any from the first 5, so we're going to roll our last 2. Oh, okay. Well, we're not going to kill it, but it'd be nice if we could prevent some of that damage. Yeah, it's going to do 2 damage, so I'm going to go ahead and use the focus that she picked up. Okay, so she did 1 damage to it. Oh, and I just realized I forgot to move this 1 damage along with the wounded werewolf. And it means she takes 1 physical damage. It's too bad. If she'd been able to do that, I could have tried to use the genealogy research and maybe gotten a couple clues out of it. Alright, well, that's what we're stuck with. Right, further reckoning effects. The Gnofke. Each investigator on this space loses 1 health. Not an issue. Last monster is the Migu. Discard the nearest clue and move this monster to that space. 1, 2 in Istanbul, 1, 2 over there. Well, yeah, let's move it over to, yeah, Oceania. There. Well, at least we might be able to get to this now and close that gate because there's no more monsters. They've all spread around and hunted us down and eaten our clues. Okay, next. This horrible part. Each investigator loses a total of 2 sanity and or health. So, well, I'm going to take 2... yeah, I'm going to take 2 sanity away from, well, start with Ashcan Pete because he is our lead investigator. I'm going to take away 1 each for him, leaving him at 3 and 3 again. Patrice, I'm going to take both off of her sanity. No, we'll do 1 and 1. Because if she rests, she can get 1 of each back. Jim, we are definitely doing 1 and 1 because he's got 2 health and 2 sanity. So that leaves him at 1 and 1. And let's see, Sister Mary already took a physical hit. I'm going to do 2 sanity on hers, leaving her at 4 health and 5 sanity. Alright, that was that. Now we need to do any Mythos cards. Okay, one good thing is we get to get rid of the price gouging, so everything is now normal price. This one, which Jim didn't manage to get rid of, we are going to advance the one by 1. Fortunately, we had a retreat by 1. Good on Sister Mary. And now conditions and possessions. We've only got 1, and it's Jim's Dark Pact. So we'll roll a die, and on a 1, we're going to see what horrible deal he made. 3. Okay. He's still all right. Alright, that is all of the reckoning. Now we will spawn a gate. We get the Himalayas, where the cat is already hanging out. So, who is going to join it? I'll be joined by a Zoog. The easy sanity check, it's actually an observation check. If you fail the observation test, discard 1 item, and on a reckoning, move to the nearest investigator, then discard 1 item. Okay, it's an item eater that we actually defeat by observing it rather than physically wrestling with it. So that gives us, that means we have 3 red gates. Yeah, we gotta get those closed. Alright, the rest of it. Fear has driven you to cling to anything that might keep you safe, and now those things are the very weapons your enemies will use against you. Weight of Avarice. Event. Each investigator discards half of his item possessions. Then he loses 1 health for each item that he possesses. Now, do we round up or round down? Knowing this game, we probably have to round up. That means Pete, with his 1 item, it goes away. He loses a 32 Colt, not that he's used it at all. Patrice has no items. Jim has just the 1 item. He's going to lose his alchemical concoction. Sister Mary has 2 items. It's going to be an easy choice. We'll get rid of the 45 automatic because the Holy Spear is stronger. So that just leaves... Oh, it occurs to me Pete can get some of that stuff back using his special ability. Yeah, so that means only Sister Mary actually has any items left. She has the Holy Spear, so she loses a health. Well, that was, I mean, not an absolute disaster, but we didn't get anything accomplished. At least nobody died this turn. And that Dark Pact didn't get the flip over. I dread to see what's going to happen there. Alright, well, we'll try to fix things. See if we can yeah, get it all better next time. Hope you join me then. Thanks very much, everybody, for watching. Thanks for subscribing to the channel and liking the videos, both on YouTube and Board Game Geek. It's appreciated. And I will see you next time for yet another turn of Eldritch Horror. So long.